Have you heard of Neville Goddard? He was one of the greatest spiritual teachers and authors in the last 100 years. In this video, I am going to share the 3 words that can help you create the life of your dreams as per Neville Goddard. If you want to manifest any desire, or if you want a whole different life for yourself, it can work for anything that you can dream of. So stick with me till the end of this video and I will share with you those 3 words which you can use to bring about any changes in your life. Hi and welcome back to my new video. Let's get started. This Neville Goddard technique is taken from his book, The Law and the Promise. This 3-word technique has been responsible for many successful stories. Many people who have actually tried this technique have said that they have ended up with the exact result that they wanted from this manifestation method. It works like a charm for most people, and I will say it with confidence that it will work like a charm for you too if you practice this method with the exact instructions that I will be giving here. This technique is very simple yet very effective, so I am sure that everyone who is watching this and listening to me carefully will want to give it a try. Now, this technique will just take about 30 seconds of your time. But before jumping right into the technique, I want to share with you a story that Neville Goddard mentioned in his book, The Law and the Promise. This is a mind-blowing example of how this technique worked for a lady who was in need of money and financial stability in her life. This woman told Neville Goddard that she was in a phase of her life where she was struggling financially. She was looking for a job but was not having any luck. She wanted to buy a car but she did not have a job, so she could not purchase one. She was finding it hard to even pay her rent at that time. This lady heard about this technique from Neville Goddard that changed her life completely. In her exact words, she said that, "I began to apply these 3 words. Instead of thinking of and imagining everything that I needed, I tried to capture the feeling that something wonderful was happening to me, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now." I would say over and over to myself as I fell asleep these 3 magic words. I repeated that imaginary action and feeling for 2 months night after night. One day in early October, I met a casual friend that I hadn't seen for months, who informed me he was about to leave on a trip to New York. I lived in New York many years ago, and we talked about the city for a few moments and then parted. 1 month later to the day, this man called at my apartment and simply handed me a certified check in my name for $25,000. Now, how she got that $25,000 check was just amazing, because $25,000 was a huge sum of money. She goes on to tell the story that when her friend was talking with the person that the lady used to know when she was back living in New York, he had become insanely rich. When the rich individual knew that her friend was in contact with the lady, he told the friend to hand her a check for $25,000. From that moment onwards, she was also kept in the will of that rich person. That person said that he wanted to support the lady in her work as an artist. He even put her into his will, and for her entire life, she received monthly checks of $25,000. That person who gave her those checks passed away without even meeting her again in person, but the lady's life changed drastically. The lady says that after using this technique, this Neville Goddard's 3-word technique, life changed dramatically for her. And she gives all the credit to these 3 words from Neville Goddard's technique. Isn't it wonderful? These are the words that Neville Goddard mentioned in his book, The Law and the Promise. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful to just think about all the things that you want in your life, visualize it, and envision all of those things that you want in your life and just say it out loud? Isn't it wonderful? When you are envisioning it, get into that feeling of that desire fulfilled, because that is where the real fun lies. Just think about your desire and fully get immersed in that feeling, because that feeling is going to take you where you really want to be. This is the feeling you need to achieve when you are manifesting with this technique. The feeling you get when you get to the desired outcome. That is your goal when you are manifesting with these 3 words. Isn't it wonderful? So again, when you are envisioning it, when you are visualizing it, when you are thinking about that desire, just live in that moment. Don't think about how you are going to get there. Don't think about what is the best step to take to get to that desired outcome. Don't think about all of those things. Don't dwell into how, when, and why. Just know that there is this magic present around you in the form of energy, and it is going to take you to where your desire is. This is what the lady did every night before going to bed. She visualized her desire. She visualized being an artist. She visualized being wealthy, and she said, "Isn't it wonderful?" Being present in that desire and saying, "Isn't it wonderful?" is the technique that Neville mentioned in his book, The Law and the Promise. You can do this technique in the morning if you want to, but it is most effective when you do it before falling asleep. Because as in most of Neville's techniques, he advises his followers to practice it at night time before going to sleep because of its effectiveness, and because of the power of our subconscious mind to hold that feeling, that emotion, and that thought throughout the night. Now let's quickly go through practicing this technique again. First off, when you are drifting off to sleep, close your eyes and let your thoughts flow like a river. Like the river which flows continuously, let those positive thoughts just flow in there. Let go of all of those negative beliefs. Take some deep breaths in and repeat those words. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Repeat it as many times as you want until you fall asleep. Once you are in the feeling, all the images, all the pictures, and scenes of your desired outcome will start popping up in your head and you will see a clear path where you have everything that you want. Then you just have to immerse yourself completely in the moment as you drift off to sleep by saying, "Isn't it wonderful?" Do this for 30 days and witness the result before your own eyes. This is a very powerful technique. As I mentioned earlier, many people have noticed significant changes in their lifestyle after practicing this technique. Now it is your turn to do so. Try this now and write about your experience with this technique. I would love to hear your experiences. So do try it out and go to the comments section and inspire others with your positive experience. If you liked this video and found it helpful, press that like button below and share it with your friends and family. It would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching.